Thank you so much. I'm so honored and happy that you guys allowed me to come to talk to you today. I'm going to be talking about co-parenting, creating a guilt-free, peaceful summer for your kids, okay? So, of course, Facebook family pretty much knows who I am, but a lot of you have never heard me speak and don't know me. My name is Laura Richardson, and I'm a life coach. I'm a family law attorney, and I'm a mediator. And I've been practicing law in Texas here for about 13 years. I'm originally from New York. I'm also licensed to practice law there. I've been almost exclusively doing family law. I've went in a couple of other areas of the law, but primarily that's really what my experience is. And really my focus tonight is really to share some insights and wisdom on healthy co-parenting and what you can do as a parent to help your kids have a smooth transition into summer. And, you know, the co-parenting system and, you know, kind of our idea of co-parenting really just, it's not perfect. Our idea of co-parenting, you know, sometimes it can be a difficult transition after a breakup because, you know, you just used to being with your kids all the time and doing what you want to do with your kids all the time. And especially for moms, sometimes that drives moms crazy because when they're in the other household, you don't have any control. You don't know what's going on. You know, you're afraid, oh my God, you know, for the cereal, make sure that, you know, the milk isn't expired, you know, make sure, you know, on the bologna sandwich, the bread's not stale, you know, all that stuff, you know, that moms worry about, you know, because moms are awesome. Dads are too, but moms are awesome. You know, sometimes there's also fear of good cop, bad cop, you know. Am I always the enforcer, the disciplinarian? You know, they're over there having fun, you know, doing God knows what, you know, painting on the floor, whatever it is, you know. And, you know, and it's always like, oh my God, why am I always, you know, the bad guy? And sometimes that kind of creeps in. What can we do to create a guilt-free, healthy transition into the summer? Now, sometimes, too, if it's only been like a year or two since your breakup, whether you were married or not, really doesn't matter. It's the same dynamics going on, right? And so, you know, we don't want to look at why is it important or why is it best to encourage your kids to spend time with the other parent. And the bottom line is this, you know, as a parent, you know, you are the natural object of your child's affection. That's just the way God wired us. You know, mommy and daddy, we just love them just because they're mommy and daddy. And they want to be able to share, you know, time with both of you and not feel like they have a split in loyalty. Okay. And so, too, you know, sometimes, you know, if you have an order in place, sometimes the visitation schedule can look like, oh my God, you know, who can understand this? It's like Greek, you know, it has a lot of legalese and, you know, first, third, and fifth Friday of the month and what? You know, holidays, you know, what is it, you know, what happens? You know, do you do a regular schedule when Father's Day comes up? Or, you know, sometimes that creates a lot of conflict and misunderstanding and can really kind of ratchet up things if you're really not quite sure what that means. And you know, a lot of times too, when you're kind of going through stuff like that, you know, you might have had, you know, someone explain that to you. But, you know, a lot of times when you're going through and essentially that type of trauma, a lot of times you're not really retaining a lot of that, you know, information because first of all, it's like a data dump, right? You know, you're like, oh my gosh, I mean, you know, it's just a lot of change and transition. And a lot of times just as a protective measure, your brain is like, whoa, 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 whoa. You know, there's only so much information I can absorb here. I'm trying to manage my emotions here as it is. And it's just a lot going on. So here are some do's and don'ts for co-parenting, okay? The do's, be an encourager. Okay, now sometimes you may have to do it, you know, with you holding your nose at first. You know, I'm not saying it should be like that always. But, you know, if it's fairly new after you break up, it's only been a couple of years, you know, try to be the encourager. Be like, okay, yeah, we're going to see Daddy this weekend. Yay! You know, we're hopefully going to do X, Y, Z, and, you know. You know, but, you know, just try to, or at the very least, try to be neutral, you know. And just say, you know, oh, you know, I hope you have a great time with Daddy, and just leave it at that, you know. And it really doesn't matter if he's not the encourager either, because you can only control you, you know, and your child's going to remember what they heard from you. we kind of talked about this a little bit before. I talked positively about the other parent. You know, if he's a good organizer, say, oh yeah, great. Daddy's gonna help me with your science project. You know, he's so much better at science than I am. But I'm good at this and this, and so we'll both be able to help you with all your classes or whatever that looks like. Try as much as you possibly can to make co-parenting an open dialogue with your ex. And sometimes, that can be a little bit different. And we'll talk in just a second about if you happen to be in a high conflict situation. Yes?
I have a question. My daughter's 10, and a lot of times when I ask her, hey, what did you do at your dad's house? She'll respond with, I don't want to tell you. And I think she's doing that because she thinks I'm going to get upset. And I'm really not. I'm just kind of curious. Mm-hmm. Is it wrong for me to ask her, or is there another way I can approach it? And what I tell her back is, you don't need to keep secrets. There's nothing to hide.
Mm-hmm. No, it is. It is frustrating, and we don't know if Dad is saying, don't be telling any little thing that's going on over here. What we talked about before, but it's absolutely, as a parent, absolutely, she's 10. So the question was, if you have a 10-year-old and you're asking, your 10-year-old when she comes back from visiting Dad, hey, how, what'd you do with your dad? Did you have a good time? You're just engaging them. You're welcoming them back into the home. You're engaging with them, and that's a normal, natural thing to do as a parent. And your child responds, oh, I don't want to tell you. First, kind of bells and whistles going off. Is there a dynamic going on? Saying, when he's like, don't be saying nothing.
Usually, there's not. They went and got dinner, and
yeah.
He took her to get her nails done and fun stuff.
Yeah, fun stuff. Yeah, and so, or maybe sometimes too, maybe she's feeling like, oh my gosh, I had a good time with Dad, and I want Mom to feel bad because Mom's here by her. I don't know if you're there by yourself, but Mom, I'm not there with Mom. And so sometimes, again, kids, they kind of rationalize in their minds, that's a kind of a way of protecting Mom. I don't want her to know I had too much fun, type of thing. So that might be that dynamic going on if he's not saying, don't you say nothing. Sometimes kids, they just come up with stuff. They're 10. And so, you just tell her, it's okay to have a good time. I want you to have a good time with Daddy, your nails done. I may not be able to do all that for you all the time. We have other fun stuff that we can do. We can cook together. We can, do, arts and crafts together. We can walk in the park, whatever it is. And a lot of times that's a common dynamic too. If you're a single mom, there's a statistic that says, after a breakup, within the first 18 months, 83% of the guys are either married or living with somebody. And so they have a little bit more financial help. A lot of times, moms are still, they're still living single.
And
okay?
We did just get a girlfriend that moved in probably about 6 months ago, so that is something new to the situation.
Yeah, and sometimes maybe she might be, feeling bad about that. Daddy has somebody, and she feels like, oh, Mommy doesn't.